G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to the next turn of Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, and we're in Tabletop Simulator. And we're not doing particularly well. It's like the 4th turn, and we haven't even left the... We've still got one person on the very first tile. So we've got this monster here, we've got... Yeah, it's not been good. Now, we've got to start making some progress, but I've done some edits to the table design that I'm using. For starters, oh wait, just one quick thing. When I assigned the wrong damage to this girl, Gloria, in the last game, and I forgot to, when I removed the damage, I forgot to change the dial. Anyway, so I've done some small edits to the table, nothing fancy. One of the things I've done is I've scaled up the dice into be these huge, massive dice, just so they're a bit easier for people to read on YouTube. And I've also locked all the components. There's a hotkey for locking components, so it's a lot easier than right-clicking and going lock all the time. And this will allow me to, you know, while I'm doing certain things, I can just spawn dice right here and easily select and drag and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just a couple of functional changes as I'm getting you. These dice are probably just a little too big. Let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they're still pretty big, but they're just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, now what to do? First thing we need to do is deal with this monster. Now, if we try and move out of this space, then these people are going to have to do evading checks. But we don't need to really do evading checks in this particular scenario because we have the all-powerful Kate Winthrop with her flux capacitor, stabilizer. And at the start of your turn, move a monster within 1 range. So we're going to actually start the game with her moving, and so she's going to use the flux capacitor, which is a free action, and just push this monster 1 away, and that's going to free up these people to move. Now we are in a lot of trouble. Basically, what's her name? Agatha has already been wounded, which means that she can only move once. She's very, very slow. So she is going to go 1, 2, and then she's going to cast at the goat spawn with a spell. So more, and attack with a spell. You begin the incantation as if by instinct, your lips forming the words on their own accord. Even as you give voice to the eldritch sounds, you struggle to understand their meaning. Do a Law 2 test. If you passed, the hidden truth presents itself, and you find that you are able to command them to lash out at your enemy. The monster suffers damage equal to the spell damage. Okay, so that's a Law 2 test. Now, her Law is 5. Now, she also has the spell, which means she gets an extra card. So she actually starts this with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. Booyah! Oh, how's that for a roll? Wow, that's the best roll I've ever seen. All successes. Well, it was all successes until I knocked it over. Unfortunately for us, no matter how many successes you get, it still only does damage equal to the spell's damage. So that is a bit of a bummer. So that's just 1, 2, 3. Now, basically, shriveling, of course, we now need to flip it over. The spell seems to resonate and echo within your mind. You detect the resonance of another foe. Suffer 1 face-down horror, then another monster within range suffers 3 damage. Then discard this card and gain another spell. Okay, so that's not particularly good. So we get another face-down horror. Is it face-down? Face down horror, yeah. So we get another horror. And we are even closer to death. Why isn't that oh yeah, because it's locked. That's why. And now we need to change this for a new one. And I was told that you could shuffle with the R key, which is good. So I'm getting the hang of this application. And there's the new one. And that is her turn. Yang. Sweet. Now, wait, I forgot to do her second turn, didn't I? Actually, I forgot to do both her turns. I just moved the monster and then I didn't do the rest of her actions because I'm an idiot. So we're just going to have to do her actions now as well. Now, her first action was going to be 1, 2, and what is this? This is the evidence, and she's gonna, yeah, she is going to pick up this item here. So we'll come over here. So we kind of did that a bit out of order, but let's activate this. The book is ancient, its pages consumed by rot. The book is so old and damaged that it nearly crumbles in your hand. Do an agility 2 test. Okay, so her agility is 3. Yes. So that's Yabam. And that is 2 successes. Excellent. 2 successes. 1, 2. Yabam. Delicately turning the pages reveals passages printed in black letter script and disturbing diagrams of animal anatomy. Near the center, the ink has been carefully scraped off and overwritten with notes. My experiments with base animals succeeded, and now I have knowledge of one beyond. With this power, I can not only bend living things to my will, but also enslave creatures not yet seen by man. Gain 2 clues, then discard this search token. Excellent. So she gets another 2 clues. That's pretty cool. I might just do some maintenance here and delete all this text. Oh no, what's going on here? Okay, so pressing Control Z does go backwards, but it's sort of quite... Anyway, whatever. So we have 3 extra clues now. And what I'm just going to do is... Right. Now that is the end of her turn. So we still need to deal with this monster, and I guess the best thing to do... 1, 2... Vincent's going to come down 1 and then move into here. So that's 1 move. And while he's doing that, he's then going to do a trade action with Harvey, who's in that space. And he's... Oh, wait. Who's got the gun now? Oh, Gloria's got the gun. Okay, I think he's going to go bam here and activate this one. So he went 1, 2. No, he can only get to here, can he? So he's going to go 1, 2, and then he's going to do his heal spell and heal Harvey Walters 1 damage, which is all he needs to do. Yeah, bam. Got to keep healing up. Now, Gloria, who has the gun, is going to go 1, 2. And then shoot at the goat spawn. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so boom, boom. Attack the goat spawn with a firearm. You drop to 1 knee, taking aim and fire. 2 agility. Okay, so her agility is 4, which is why we gave her the gun. Okay, so we just need a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, bam. Okay, so we're going to spend this clue to flick this over, and then we're going to delete this sucker. So that's 2 successes. 2 successes. If you pass, your shot punches clear through the figure and impacts behind it. The monster and another monster in its space suffers damage equal to the weapon damage. Well, that's 1, 2, 3 damage. And finally, the only person who hasn't actually gone now is the doctor. Now the doctor is going to go 1, 2, and then try and kill the goat spawn using his bare hands. Attack unarmed. You challenge your enemy to fisticuffs. The foe pauses, sizing you up. Influence 2. Okay. His influence is 4, so we get 4 dice, which is kind of cool. Bam! And we get no successes, so that is a complete failure. Great. Okay. If you fail, your incoming fist is slapped bemusedly aside. Okay. Let's go to the Mythos. Yeah, let's just go to the Mythos now. Bam. This Mythos event affects the investigator with the most evidence. Now, we do have a number of evidence. We've got forensic evidence, 1 evidence. We just picked up a piece of evidence, didn't we? Oh, he hasn't used this, by the way. That's from last turn. And there's no point. That would only give him 1 success, because he didn't even get 1 success. So it's ridiculous. Who just picked up the evidence? Oh, he didn't actually pick up the evidence. We activated the question mark. So it is Kate who has the most evidence, with evidence of 1. All pieces fall into place, and you start to understand that old Watley has made a beast of enormous power and has yet to perfect its presence in this world. As if thinking about it called its attention to you, a great invisible limb bowls you over into the ground. Suffer 1 damage and 1 horror. Law negates. Okay, so her law is 4, so she has 4 dice. Okay, so that is... Yabam! Wow, that's a complete failure. Can't even pump it. Maybe we should pump it. I could pump it. So what is it? Face down. Suffer 1 horror and 1 damage. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually spend 1 of these clues and turn this into a success, and that's going to negate 1 of the damage. And we're going to, did I shuffle this? I'll just shuffle it again. We're going to get 1 face up damage, and we're going to negate the horror. Ruptured eardrum. After the splitting pain and partial deafness, you find that your balance is off. Keep face up. Roll 1 fewer die while resolving an agility test. Okay, that is particularly horrid. Bam. Okay, but we can cure that with the doctor. That's why I decided to do that. And that be the end of all that, but we still didn't kill that freaking monster. That was pretty bad. Okay, let's do that now. Zubulon catches sight of the purple glow over by Bishop's Brook and hurries to investigate. Move Zubulon Wheatley as indicated. Okay. Maybe that is worth investigating. After a bit of muttering and obscured gestures, the arcane glowed phase and Zubulon chuckles to himself. One step closer to stopping old Whatley. Discard the search token in the river crossing as indicated. Oh dear. So whatever that was, it is now gone. The goat spawn moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, then it attacks the investigator in its space with the most items. Now, it doesn't need to move because it's already next to Harvey. So, the monster attacks. Yabam. Something shiny in your hand draws the creature's attention and it charges you. 2 agility. Okay, so his agility is 2. So I need 2 successes off 2 dice, which is fairly impossible. So with any luck... Yeah, bam! Oh, we did it. And we have the lucky bracelet. Once per round, you may convert investigation to a success. So let's do that. Yeah, bam! What am I doing? Oh, that's the R button. I want the... Yeah. Okay. Whatever. The point was we now have 2 successes. If you pass, you dodge quickly and redirect the creature's mad charge. Move the monster 1 space. Okay. Okay, so there's nowhere I can really move it. See, that's impassable, so I can't move it there. So I have to move it here. It's actually bad for us because he's unarmed, which means he has to move to it to attack. Does mean he can move out and we can just shoot at it with Goldberg next turn actually, so it's not too bad. Okay, if you fail we suffer tons of damage, but we didn't fail, so that's all good. Okay, now we have to do horror checks versus that hideous monster, and everyone has to do a horror check. So we start with red, yellow. We'll do it in this order. Bam. So we start with... Oh, we'll just do it in order of the board. So we'll start with Kate. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a golden flicker of movement. Do a mind 1 test. Okay, so her mind is 3 dice. Bam! She gets 2 successes, so she passes. If you pass, you realize the trick before turning into the creature's grasp. Waha! Okay, so that's excellent. So nothing basically happens. Okay, next. Obscenities mixed with beastly growls block out all thought as the creature works up a frenzy. Become dazed. Then suffer 2 face down horror. Mind +1 negates. Okay, so his will is 4. So he basically has a mind +1. He's got a whole bunch of clues here. And he's dazed no matter what, I believe. Become dazed. Yes, he's dazed. So, yonk. Okay, booyah. Okay, that's 2 successes, and it was a 2 face down horror, mind +1 negate. So he actually had 5 dice, but we've already, it was only 2 damage, and we did roll 2 successes. So that's good. Just for completionist's sake, we got another one of them. Whatever, the point is he passes, no damage, no harm, no foul. Yes, okay, got some decent rolling going on finally. The creature barks a harsh, braying laughter that fills the air with malice and cruelty. You find yourself eager to laugh along, though your conscious mind cannot find the humour here flip 3 horror face up. And there is no horror here, so that's the end of his turn. Excellent. Okay. The creature barks a harsh braying laughter that fills the air with malice and cruelty. You find yourself eager to laugh along, though your conscious mind cannot find the humor here. Flip 3 horror face up. And again, no horror on this particular girl. So she is also completely fine. Let's hope that she doesn't get it because she's got 7 horror. Bam. The creature barks a... there we go. The creature, it's the same one again, and we have to flip 3 horror face up. So, we shuffle the hell out of this sucker, and then we'll get the first one. Minor shock, no additional effect. Flip this card face down. And then we'll get the second one. Horrific Arcana. You whimper as your mind rejects the impossible. Suffer 1 additional face down horror for each spell you have, then flip this card face down. Ugh. That is not good. So she gets another face down horror. She's about to go insane as well. Bam. And another minor shock. This card has no effect. Okay, so that's the end of that. And she's got 1 sanity left. And this is ridiculous because there's nothing we can do. There's no way for us to cure her. We have to finish the entire game in the time it takes her to take 10 damage. So she just we just cannot have her cast any more spells. Oh, she has 2 spells. So she's actually insane already because she had to take two spells. She's got Feed the Mind as well. So that's that. Okay, so she is insane. And she's wounded. And yeah, we're doing great. Insanity. Oh, let's just shuffle them first. Boom. This time I'll show you her insane condition. This goes back up to 9. You do not trust your friends, and you are sure as hell will not sacrifice yourself for them. You do not win the game as normal. Instead, you win only if the investigation is complete and you are not wounded. Otherwise, you lose the game. When you gain this card, if you are wounded, discard this card and gain a different sane. Okay, so we need a new insane condition, one that is not illegal. Okay, so this one is forbidden words. You fear words will be your downfall, and you think to yourself that you shall never speak again. You cannot speak. You win or lose the game as normal. Well, as far as insanity condition goes for solo play, that is as good as you can get. Boom, and that's the end of that. End of the Mythos phase. Yeah, bam. Whew. Okay. Well, I think next turn we'll open up all these areas and we can start pushing out. We'll definitely be able to kill the monster next turn, and with any luck, that'll lead to a little more excitement. Well, I still feel... so that's the thing. I had the same feeling when I played the last quest as well. Just an intense feeling of it completely running out of control. maybe like the other time, as the moves continue, it'll get easier. This is supposed to be an easy one. It's only got 3 stars. The last one we played had 5 stars or 4 stars. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. I will see you guys next time.